to the outside. If you want to be able to get at those knobs to adjust it. Yeah. So you gotta, looks like you gotta let it down on each side.
Bring it in a little bit as well.
The manufacturer that made my fan had a class in human factors. Hired someone that knew something about human factors. And I don't think this manufacturer has done that. But the idea is basically the same. You fit the elastic around the fan. And it's real tight. Okay. There.
Yeah, I'll do it, of course.
And then it just hangs your middle bar also acts. Oops. Hold your fan in place. Okay. Let's see. We had this same problem the last time. I'm just gonna tie my knee out. They got it a little tighter, I think. Alright. Okay, let's try that. Okay. Back in business.
And then you have the yellow tube, which goes to this kind of yellow. You could want to come and look at it. It's just a little yellow tube on the top.
So the fan has a flow meter on it. And the flow meter is going to tell, and this is the pressure manometer, but also there's a computer chip in here, the processor. So basically the fan is going to communicate with this little device and tell it this is how many cubic feet a minute are flowing through the fan. And so the way it does that is with that little tube.
So I was mistaken before. You can actually draw power for this off of the fan, so you don't have to take the AC adapter out.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's what this is.
Okay.
Which I will do.
Okay. That's handy.
So you want to set the baffles, or whatever you would call this, the range, to, I think this is the range B. You can reference that on this sheet. So if you look, I'm setting it to this one. Turn it on. So gather close so you can look at it together with the logo. It says, so you press the auto 0 button, which is 6.
Because it's that measurement is basically taking all the air coming in through all the tiny cracks and crevices and just telling us what the total amount is. Now, sometimes there's a big leak in one area and we can feel it on these windows. But it doesn't mean that the windows are the primary source. It could be. We don't know. It could be. But as auditors, our job is not so much to figure out where they are, as just to quantify it and make a report for the homeowner so they can have some information. Now, if we were actually air sealing heating contractors, what we would do is, once a homeowner had decided to do some air sealing work, we would come here with our blower door, and we would come here with materials to make these windows tighter. We'd also come here with some other foam kits to check any other places. the windows downstairs, it's between the frame and the concrete, for example. You know, we get some special caulk that would stick to both of those materials. And what we would do is, we would probably know what the air leakage was. Maybe the auditor had made some notes. Really leaky around north corner basement window. We'd spend 2 or 3 hours trying to weather strip windows, seal things up, and then we'd turn the blower door on and we'd see, okay, we've got it down to 2,000, maybe 1,900. And we say, we still think we can get it down another 300 without spending a lot of time and money, and which will save the homeowner significant amounts of money on their heating bill. They still won't have to have mechanical ventilation. Or you may have a really progressive homeowner that says, get it as tight as you can, because I'm going to put mechanical ventilation in there because that's the most energy efficient thing to do. So what we would do is then we would go back around, seal more leaks that we could find, do more weather stripping, and turn our blower door back on until we got the number we're looking for. So that's basically how it's done in the industry. Which you folks can do because you're not necessarily going to do that, but you're working with homeowners. You could, once you turn that blower door on, you can show folks where those leaks are. So based on what you saw today, what recommendations would you make to Nancy that she could do herself that would probably make a big difference?
Seal the cracks in the basement.
Where?
The foundation.
Around the window frame
Yeah.
and the concrete, which is not that difficult to do. It doesn't take a great amount of skill. A can of foam or something, right? What else would you suggest that you could do? Where else did we feel some leaks? Kim noticed some.
Windows and doors.
Yeah, windows and doors. And where on the windows?
And where the pulleys are.
Where the pulleys are. Well, it turns out you can buy special little devices that fit over those pulley holes that have little gaskets in them. They let the rope come through, and there's even a little rubber gasket that allows the rope to go through. So there are, and do you think it would make a difference if she put window locks on here? What does a window lock do? Yeah, a window lock is going to push the upper sash up, it's going to push the lower sash down, and it's going to suck the two rails together really tight. So window locks and a little better weather stripping on those windows could probably make a big difference. She might spend $10 or $15 on weather stripping in one Saturday afternoon. So there are some things as auditors you can recommend that homeowners can do themselves that would make a big difference. And with blower door, you can actually show them where it is.